What's up, guys? So Auroria launched yesterday, sometime around like 1 Pacific Standard Time, it looked like. And this was the site that everyone saw a few minutes after the castles got claimed. So there was a big epic battle and war going on. And sadly, I was unable to be online and to see this in firsthand in action. But I've heard some war stories that are pretty cool. And then I've also heard how quickly the land has filled up. So I was able to log on around 4 or 5 hours later, around 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the craziest thing happened to me that, like, when I logged in, I'm a patron, there was a queue. I was in a queue for, like, I was number 3 in the queue, and it just didn't seem to be moving at all. And I was like, I was literally in the queue for about 10 minutes. And so as I'm like, what's going on here, guys? So this is Morpheus, US Fresh Start Server Morpheus. Like, what's going on, guys? I mean, a queue? Come on. Like, I'm patron. Patron has priority. Patron pretty much never has queues. And so, like, I close out of it, go back, log back in. And when I log back in, like, to refresh the whole thing, I'm actually in position number 43 now. So I was waiting in queue, and I'm like, oh, god damn it. So it took me about 30 minutes to get into the game. I just let it be at that time. And when I got in, I went right up to Auroria to check out the land plots because I wanted to get land up here because these are extremely valuable thanks to the Radiant Archeum trees being so cheap, 50 silver, and the regrade Brazier. So I searched long and hard up in Auroria for about an hour, and I could not find any spot at all, for a 24 by 24, 18 by 18, nothing. Maybe, I definitely could find an 8 by 8, but I don't really want an 8 by 8 up in Auroria. So it was just like, wow, all gone. And then I ended up getting killed a couple times by people up in Auroria. So it was like, wow, this is intense. But rightfully so, Auroria land is very valuable with those trees. They were already seeing the great cause of and effect of this is that Archeum prices have dropped down to the lowest they've ever been in this new server here. So we're seeing Moonlight Archeum crystals at 3G and Sunlight Archeum crystals at 7G as the lowest I've possibly seen so far and heard from other players. That's insane right there. So that's having a huge cause and effect, a ripple effect throughout the entire economy. There is cheaper weapons and armors out there. The wisps are a lot cheaper. There's also rising prices in like the pigments and the basic materials, so like the clover, the azazel, the narcissus, like all the materials that are used for crafting pigments and oils that you need to make those armors and weapons are going up in value because there's just too much archeum in the system now, and people are just like, okay, yeah, I'll buy a rose for 7 silver. Ooh, I'll buy a lily for 10 silver. Like, I'm personally guilty of this. I've bought lilies for 10 silver off the auction house because no one was selling them, and I needed a couple lilies. So I bought, like, a stack of 100 lilies for 10 silver each. And so that's what I've talked about before is that farming right now is one of the best labor per silver, things that you can do. Silver per labor that you can do. You can get way over 5 silver per labor point. You can get upwards to 20 silver per labor point on some basic farming materials, depending on how much labor they require and how lucky you get on the special procs. So some of the special items like clovers are very in demand because they're used for a pigment, and then they're also used for the combined feed, and then they're also the lucky clover that you get, the rare proc out of it is needed for the Dawn's armor. So like the lucky clover actually sells for like 3 or so gold, right around there, because you need, I think, 15 or 20 of them to make the Dawn's armor, which give you a ton of proficiency for free. So things like that, you can make a lot of money just single seed planting clovers out in the wild, or single seed planting lilies out in the wild. Like, just a lot of crafting materials that are used for pigments and oils definitely have a ton of value. And if you have land up in Auroria, you want to make sure that you build ASAP and get those regrades rocks down, get the Archeum trees down, because if the prices drop a lot more on Archeum and regrade stuff, it may not even be worthwhile to spend that labor on making those trees, even though the trees are ultra cheap, pretty much free right now. If the Archeum prices drops a lot more, it might not even be worth it, man. I mean, there's a lot of activities right now that can get you 10 plus silver per labor point spent in the new servers, so you got to really use that labor wisely.